Hey, so welcome back. This is the video number two. Let's get back started. Just to recap, I'm kind of making this series just to show how I go about learning a technology without really going through the docs too much. I mean, I get it. You need to have the skill for about going through the docs, but everybody doesn't learn. There's more. Everyone learns different ways. For me, videos are easier. Learning from somebody directly is better. And since I don't have, like I say, you may not have someone to come to you and explain things to you, like most of us don't. Then the videos is like that the next best thing, because then you get the way they speak. I mean, I'm sorry, not the way they speak. I mean, the way they understand the code and how to apply it in their language. You kind of get like a mini mentorship kind of. And I work really good with those. So let me get started with this. Not to say don't read docs. Yes, read docs. Just no fig. I hate this thing. Don't read docs, but of course read them. But sometimes you just kind of want to jump into the technology and learn. Like I learn by doing a lot. So, and when you learn by doing, one of the key things that kind of slow you down with that is just not knowing how to do it. So I find that just copying or following along in tutorial and doing it multiple times works for me. And then eventually, like after maybe the second, why I get so many? Wow, after the second time, I'm like, okay, well I get this. I can throw something together. Okay, I have this. All right, let's get rid of some of these. Yeah, and it's just a little bit easier to get started, especially since technology moves so fast, man. There's always something new coming out. So let's see. Okay. Oh, all right, already. Hmm. 3,000. Okay. Question is, do I have a port I'm using for this already? Let's do this one. Local host 3,000. Okay. Slash, what is it? Is it hello? What is it? I think it's hello. I was using HGLO. HGLO. Was it hello? Yeah, see, task manager. Right. So we're there. And then I got this open. Let me grab this file. Routes, task, app. Close these out. This is the other application I'm working on. This one is selected. If you go through, I'll have these uploaded as well, inshallah. So you'll see. All right, close it down. Routes. Hello, bam. That's where we're at now. And I think what I wanted to do is after I use version tasks, okay, handles. Let's go to routes, tasks. I hate that. Tasks. Get all tasks. Okay. There's a little hiccup here. So can I get all right? Failed to load resources. Respond with the status of 4.9 not found. Okay. Not found. Get all tasks and not found. Is that what that is? Let's go here. Controller. Task. Here. Stop that. I want both. Get all tasks. Res. Okay. Let's go here. Just so that I don't have to continuously grab the URL. Oops. Let's go back.
Step into Wix Studio, the new web.
I want to just use one browser, so let's just go here. Well, one window. This.
Step into Wix Studio, where creative freedom meets absolute efficiency.
Is that right?
It says in order to run the project, you need to set up .env and set up the Mongo URI connection variable. And essentially, these are the things that we'll cover during the project. So in order to spin up the project,
okay, so we're past this point.
Just check out
past this point,
and then add all the controllers
right?
one by one, or we can actually chain them together. where we go with router and then use a route. So this is going to be the main route, in our case, API version 1, and then tasks. And then we chain get and post. And I think I'm going to go with this setup. So first, let's start by setting up the router. And that is equal to express and then a router. We invoke it. And then eventually we'll import controllers. But for now, of course, we don't have any. So let's just leave that one blank. And like I said, then forward slash, and then I want to go with get method. And for time being, I'll just hard code the response over here. So say rec and res dot and send. And like I said, we'll just start simply. So say all items. Now let's save that one, and then all the way.
Test routes.
On the bottom, we want to go with module exports, and that is equal to our router. So now, back in the app.js, we want to import the router, we want to import our task, and we want to set up the middleware. So in here, let's just go with const, and then route, and that is equal to acquire, and then like I said, we're going to be looking in the routes folder, and then more specifically, we're looking for it. And then right after this hello, and don't worry, we'll change that one a little bit later. For the time being, it can just stay the way it is. We'll go with app.use, and then of course, what route are we looking for? Well, we want to go with API, and then version 1, and then tasks. That's going to be the route for the tasks route. And then we just want to go with routes. And you know what? Let's just change it around. For some reason I went to routes. Let's just call it tasks. I believe it's going to make a bit more sense. And since we'll be sending JSON from our application, for example, when we're creating a new task, and since I want to access that data in my routes, what we need to do, of course, is get middleware that is built into Express. And that middleware is Express.js. So above the routes, we go here, and I'll try to spell this correctly, because that is always an issue. Hopefully this is correct, middleware. And then we'll just go with app.use, and eventually we'll set up the static one as well. But since at the moment we have barely any routes, I'm just going to go express and JSON. If you remember, if you don't use it, then you won't have that data in rec.y. So we'll save it here, and I'll leave the comments just so we all are on the same page. And before I test it out in the browser, let me just double check. So I'm using the middleware where I'm saying that I'm looking for API version 1 and then task, and then I pass in my router. So my tasks are, and then in the router, effectively, I have this root task, which just matches whatever I pass over here. So again, I go with API version 1 and then tasks, and then I set up a get route where I manually pass in my controller. And here I just say res.send, and I pass in a string of all items. And looks about right. So let me go here, and we're going to go with global rows 3000. This is a get request, which we can access it. Then API version 1, and then tasks, and we should see a
Okay. API v1 tasks tasks.
is a GET request. Once we can access it, GET API version 1, and we go to tasks, and we should see a string of items. And if we do, of course, we're heading in the right direction. So the last thing that I want to do in this video is to first close my express.org one, and then in the controllers, we want to create a new file and call this tasks.js. And again, just to jog in memory, the whole deal why we're setting up separate routes and separate controllers, because if I'll try to jump everything in Node.js, it's going to get messy pretty quick. So what I want to do right now is take this logic and place it in a separate file, because eventually, of course, there will be way more logic than just res.cs. I'm going to go to my controllers, and effectively I want to create my function, the controller function, and I'm just going to go with const get all tasks, and I'll set it up as an R function for write and res, and functionality will be exactly the same, res.send, and we're just going to go with all items, and then we're going to go with module exports, and since I'm going to add some more functions in here, I'll right away export it as an R. So say get all tasks.
Okay, check it out. So I wrote a bit of it, but controller here. Okay, module.exports equals get all tasks. Same. Res request. Here. Res.send all items. Okay. Yes.
Matches it. So I say here that the structure get all tasks from, and then of course we need to acquire it. In this case, we're looking in the controllers. So I'm going to go 2 levels up, looking for controllers.
Routes. Tasks. Double check I have that correctly. Should be the same path, but okay. Alright, do okay, so do controller dash tasks. Okay. Double correct, get all tasks. Alright, get all tasks here, routes / get request res router route / get request res so items project exports router. Just running through trying to make sure I spell stuff correctly and make sure I set it up correctly.
So instead of hard coding this, I'll just pass it in, and I'll say get.
Okay, so instead of doing blah blah blah, we're just gonna do blah blah blah. Alright, here let's add get all tasks here.
If I go back to my URL,
see, it still works. Let's see if I broke lines. Oh, I broke it. I broke it. We'll find out why. I broke it. It broke it. Let that hang out. Hang out right there. Express router routes exports. The issue here is it's the controller that's having an issue. Servers like where's that sit? structure it. If I get from there, I stick it in here. So is it? Wow. Let's see if I'm correct. Let's do like this. Backwards, oh yeah, that definitely broke. You broke everything. Everything. Let's listen to what it got to say.
Thank you very much, Cody. We went back on the route. First, we want to access it. So we're going to say the structure get tasks from, and of course we need to require it. And in this case, we're looking in the controllers. So I'm going to go two levels up, looking for controllers, and then more specifically tasks.
Require. What do I do? Require. It require. Sire require. Router out. Flash. Get all flash. What am I missing here? It's just on vacation.
So we just set a hardcoding method. I'll just pass it in, and I'll say get all text. And if I go back to my URL, I can still see all items.
Okay, so we figured it out. All right. It's really because I have this here. This is for typing. This is to help when you're working with TypeScript or something like this, or other typed, languages. I have this extension, so I couldn't see the fact that I had. Look, hold on. This is crazy. Look at this. I had double arrow functions. Like, what is this? What is this? I was currying, and I wouldn't realize it essentially. Right? Look. That's ridiculous. But hey, it's usually the small stuff. Like the small stuff gets you all the time. Major problems like I don't know, major issues don't occur too much when you kind of grasp the concept of the language, or the framework, whatever. It's the small little mistakes that get you the most after you grasp the major concepts. Because in Node.js, arrow functions are very useful. Instead of using functions, and I guess as we go along, maybe we'll see. If not, I'll explain. But I kind of want to leave that for later. But yeah, we figured it out. Okay, great. Let's get back to what we're doing. Let's make sure. Am I still? Yeah, I'm still going. Okay, great. Still going. Okay, just gotta double check. Is that really the case? Oh my goodness, I hate ads. Back to it. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. Wait a minute, what's here? Start a controller. Yeah, I was about to say. I kind of like it. Actually, my favorite editor used to be Atom. So that's kind of, I don't know, this is like a side note. I was just looking at my theme. I was like, I like this theme. But my favorite editor used to be Atom. I first started coding on Windows with Atom. So I've been, every chance I get, I try to recreate Atom in VS Code or whatever I'm coding in. Right, since Atom's no longer with us. RIP. I actually might grab it and work with the older one. I don't know if I want to do that. I think they have an updated version or a newer, like the team of Atom created a new IDE, so I might check that out and see. But side note. For all those love Atom, so leave a comment. that was my go-to back in the day. That was my go-to. Let's go here. Wait, what are we doing? Create tasks. Oh yeah, for the different routes. Okay, we'll just create tasks. Create. Let's just do delete. I think it's really just update task. Create, delete, updates. What am I missing here? We gotta get here. Oops, let's not do that, buddy. Create, let's see. Get task. Get task. That's it. That's what I'm missing. Get task. So let's stop it. Let's put it up here so keep it in order. Get task. Get all tasks. Get all items, whatever. Get all items. Get item. Create item. No, that's Google change. So create task. I'll change it later. Tasks. It's just nice. Update task. Let's change these. Create task. Nah, that's no. Let's see. It's kind of low. I was wondering why it's low.
Name is going to be over here.
There we go.
And then the last one, of course, will be delete and then text. I guess that we also need to change the text. Now, of course, we want to place that in the same object. So let's go with create task, then get task, and we have update task. And last one is delete task, and then back in the routes. First, we want to import them. So say here create task, get task, then update task, and delete one. And now we just need to set up the route. If we take a look at the app.js, these two, the get and post, are going to go to API version 1 and then tasks. And then the rest of them are going to be with the ID params. So same initial path, then we'll just add the / and then ID. And that, of course, is where we're going to pass the ID of the task. So where I have the get request to get all the tasks, I'll chain dot post. And of course, get is where we're going to be with And now we just need to set up the route. If we take a look at the app.js, these two, the get and post, are going to go to API version 1 and then tasks. And then the rest of them are going to be with the ID params. So same initial path, then we'll just add the / and then ID. And that's, of course, is where we're going to pass the ID of the task. So where I have the get request to get all the tasks, I'll chain dot post and of course switch control arrow.
Pause it here, do a little bit. Okay. So let's throw these in here. Get tasks. Yeah, let's see. Create task, delete task, and then update task here. It's like so. Like so. Alright, and then okay. Dot post. Get dot post. So just change. So we have to get and they have to post. And they all on that same.
What we're gonna use, of course, the
right, create task. We're gonna create task. Create task. And post will be the same as like get blah blah blah. Create task like this. I kinda like this chaining. It's nice.
create task. And then you can simply go to the next
Do another
line,
one.
and we'll go with router, then route, and like I said, we'll go with / and then
ID, right? Okay. Because this / is handled. So here, task, the task. So here, essentially everything that doesn't have ID. All right. So here, yank. Really, I don't even like that. Okay, whatever. We'll just leave it for now. So that's ID. And then let's get delete task, update task. I always forget one. All get task. Get task. Gotta get all. Get task. Let's do get task. Get task.
ID, and then we're looking for get route, and that will be equal to get the single task.
Right.
Then we'll set up out patch.
Patch same. Alright, so we're getting the single one. Change. Oops, let's not do that. Let's just change this one. Get task, single task, and then change this be update task, single task. Get single task, update single task. Then we have get all tasks, create tasks. Get all tasks is on the same.
And that will be equal to update task. And then lastly, we have
delete as well.
delete one, and that will be equal to delete.
Gotcha. Let's see. All right. So
now, since we know that it can only really test the single task and get all tasks, because that's the default method the browser performs, we'll stop over here, and in the next video, we'll spin up the postman to quickly test all of our routes. Because trust me, you don't want to go any further without knowing that at least the basic setup works. Because you can set up whatever logic you have over here. If there's a small bug and you cannot access these strings, then you'll spend way more time later searching for that bug. Nice job. And once we have the basic structure for all of our routes, now let's test them out in the postman. So I'm gonna head back.
okay, let me go back over here. Some space. Some space here. I like more space. No space. let's go to, what do we have for extensions? What is it called? Currently installed. Let's see my install one. It's called something. I'm looking for, instead of grabbing Postman, I have one here already. VS Code for HTTP client. HTTP client. Share request. Headers. I have a couple of these actually. Tell us install. Just this one, huh? But I had another one. Thought I had another. Let's see. Raw Explorer. Mongo. Okay, this is one. That's fine. That's good enough. I don't have to do all that. Let's see. P. HTTP client. There we go. It won't work off of that. I thought we were using this temporarily. Just downloading the application. Alright. Let's go back here and follow along.
I'm looking for the Postman. And since in this case we'll spend way more time over here, I also want to cover some configuration options. So for starters, I want to switch to a dark mode because I think you'll appreciate that more.
Actually, let me do the Postman for those who don't. Yeah, let me not. For those who like this is their first time messing with Postman or the back end, let's just go ahead and follow along. Yeah, I don't want to confuse anyone. Getting ahead of myself. So pause right there. Okay, start this back up. So I went ahead and installed Postman. I just used the homebrew. It was quick and easy. But I wanted to kind of get it from scratch so everyone can see how it will let me download it. So yeah, I upgraded. Got the free plan, nothing special. So let's get back to the video and see how he does his.
If you want to do that as well, just go to the cog and then you're looking for the settings here. And then in the settings, just look for the themes.
We like dark. Okay, we like dark themes now. Settings. Themes. System default. We're gonna go with dark. There you go. Now, I actually like system default. I'm gonna put it back. Switch. I like it switching. At night. Yeah. I kind of like light things. I just don't like them all the time. So that works for me. That's cool. Okay. Continue.
We have a dark theme as well. So that's the first thing that I'm gonna do. But then we want to create a collection. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, since we'll be setting up multiple routes and they will reference the same application, it's going to be easier as we create more and more applications. And in order to create that collection, we go here and click on creating the collection. And for starters, I just want to change the name. So I'll click on these three dots over here. And of course, we're looking for rename. And then I'm just going to go with 03. And we'll call this task manager. Now, if you're not happy with this name, of course, pick your own one. And once I have the task, just one here, more and more applications. And in order to create that collection, we go here and click on creating the collection. And for starters, I just want to change the name. So I'll click on these three dots over here. And of course, we're looking for a rename. And then I'm just going to go with 03. And we'll call this task manager. Now, if you're not happy with it,
well, we are happy with this. All right, good sir. We're gonna create that collection. Okay, and blah 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 blah. Where's the rename here? Okay, 03. Task manager. Yeah, he said task manager, right? Manager. Okay, task manager. Okay.
this name, of course, pick your own. And once I have the task manager, then we want to start by creating a request. So we create a new request.
Get request.
A get request. And instead of typing all the time manually here, local, and then host, and we're going to go 3000, and then of course API version 1, and then task. What we want to do is set up a global variable. Now, there's multiple ways how we can do that. You can actually
Let's see about the. Alright. I got mine at 4,000. You can leave it at 3,000, but I have other things running. So I didn't want to, conflicts. / API / v1 version 1 / with the task. Yeah, task localhost 3000 API version 1 tasks. Tasks. Okay, let's turn this into it. Let's follow along, buddy.
we set up the environment. So think of this as a dev environment, and then you can have production environment. But in our case, we'll just set up this local host and then 3000 and API and version 1 simply as a variable. And you can do it from here. As you can see, they even give you suggestion and all that. But I'm just going to go the long route where we click here on that I, and then notice I have already one for the URL and localhost 3000, and then I actually change it later to / API. So now what I want to do, I want to showcase how we can remove it. So if I go over here, and if I remove it and I set up a new one, in this case, again, I'll call this URL, and then as far as this value, well, I'm just going to take this whole thing. So I'm going to go with the localhost, and then 3000, and of course we're looking for API. And if you want, you can also include the task, but in my case, I'll stop right after the version 1. So let's copy that one. Again, I'm setting this up as global, but you can set it up in the environment as well. And then once we add that, should be able to right away access it. So now, of course, we just need to save it. And then in order to use it, we need to go back. And you know what? I'll remove everything for now. And if we go with these double curlies, this is going to give us access to those variables. And all the way up.
Let's slow down. Go back. Go do it again.
And then as far as this value,
so variable here. Let's go back on it.
As a 1000 API and version 1 simply as a variable. And you can do it from here. As you can see, they even give you suggestion and all that. But I'm just going to go the long route where we click here on that I, and then
right. Environment goes here.
Notice I have already one.
Alright, the variables like you use. Each one here minus tasks. Let's not put that there. I think that'll confuse me. Current value.
URL and localhost 3000, and then actually change it later to / API. So now what I want to do, I want to showcase how we can remove it. Right.
Save.
If I go over here, and if I remove it and I set up a new one, in this case, again, I'll call this URL, and then as far as this value, well, I'm just going to take this whole thing. So I'm going to go with the localhost, and then 3000, and of course we're looking for API. And if you want, you can also include tasks, but in my case, I'll stop right after the version 1. So let's copy that one. Again, I'm setting this up as a global, but you can set it up in the environment as well. And then once we add that, should be able to right away access it. So now, of course, we just need to save it. And then in order to use it, we need to go back. And you know what? I'll remove everything for now. And if we go with these double curlies, this is going to give us access to those variables. And all the way in the bottom, we have the URL. And of course, as you can see, it is global. And here, I'm going to go with URL. I'll close it. And then I'll go with / and then task. And once I save, I should get back get.
Real. Yeah. Okay. Save it. Okay. And then I'll come back here behind it. Oh, wait, do I have tasks here? Okay, I don't have version 1. Okay. I come behind here and I'll do URL. Send get all tasks. Alright, nicely. Let's save this get request as well. Save this. Let's change this and get all tasks. There you go. Save it. So we'll come back to it. Get all tasks with the request here.
And of course, that means that our basic setup works. And before we continue and do the same thing with the rest of the tasks, now of course we want to save it. And not only we want to save it, we want to save it in our collection. So let's click over here, save as, and let's give it, in this case again, we'll say get all tasks. And of course we're looking for task manager. So this is going to be saved in this collection. And we simply click on save. So if I take a look at my task manager, now of course I have get all tasks, where we use the global variable and we can successfully see our string. And now I'll close a few of these tabs because it's getting quite busy. And let's do the same thing for the rest of them. So in this case, I'm going to be testing the create one for the post. That's where we need to change the method. That's the first thing you want to do. Then we'll go with our URL, and we'll close it out, / and then tasks. And remember, now we want to send some data, correct? Now, we're not doing anything with that data on the screen.
Right, we haven't done nothing yet. So, let's create a step 1. We'll leave it alone. Another one, right? Let's no, fine. Actually, let's not do this one. Let's do add folder, add request. Let's add another request. This will be post. What are we doing? What are we doing? Post. What are we doing? Yeah, post. URL. So let's click here. Post. Here. URL. Here / tasks. And then this one will have ID. And we'll get to that in a second.
Server, but just for the kicks, why don't we pretend it? I'm gonna go here with body. Then we're looking for the raw, and of course we're not looking for text. We're looking for the JSON. We just need to make sure that we use the correct syntax. In this case, I'll say name, and that will be equal to text. We just click on send, and if we can see create task, we are in good shape.
Okay. Body raw. Let's name testing. Send create task. We are golden. Alright.
Now, since I also want to test out whether my middleware is working, I'm going to go back to my controllers. I'm looking for create task. And in here, instead of just going with send, we're going to go with JSON. So now I'll be sending back the JSON, and I'll pass in rec.body. So if you want, of course, you can console log it on a server, but in my case, I think it's going to be faster if I just send back whatever I'm getting from the client. So if we go back and hit tab, I'm going to go back to my controllers. I'm looking for create task, and in here, instead of just going with send, we're going to go with JSON. So now I'll be sending back the JSON, and I'll pass in rec.body. So
no, we're just sending back. Okay, let's. Here, so create task here and here dot JSON. And already dot body request. The request. That's what REQ rec stands for. Shorthand request dot body. There's a request and there's a response. A result. It's late.
if you want, of course, you can console log it on a server, but in my case, I think it's going to be faster if I just send back whatever I'm getting from the client. So if we go back, and if we change this around, and let's say here shake and bake, if we add a comma and then completed, we set to true. Once we send, that should be our response. And of course, the only thing that's left to do as far as the create route is go to save as, and then let's say create.
Let's go ahead and try it out. What about that shake and bake stuff? We're gonna say completed. True. And then we're going to send. What did I do?
If we change this around, and say here shake and bake, if we add a comma and then completed, we set to true. Once
Haha. There we go. Forgot to change this. Alright, true.
we send, that should be our response. And of course, the only thing that's left to do as far as the create route is go to save as, and then let's say create, save it.
It's a post or whatever. Share, rename. Why is it saying get when we are posted? Oh, this one. There we go, yeah, change. Create task.
And now let's continue. Again, I'll close these ones just so it's not that busy. And in this case, I want to go with get route. Then we want to go here with the URL again. And of course, we haven't set up the database, so there's no real ID. Or we can definitely test it out if we just go with tasks and then whatever gibberish. So in this case, I'm going to go with hello. So that's going to be my ID. So we're not sending anything as far as data, but we are using the parameters. Again, if we take a look at the routes, you can clearly see that we have /110 ID. That is going to be our param. And if we want to test it out, now we have get task. First, we have the request, and the ID is sitting in the param. So in here, I'll do the same thing. Let's say JSON, and we'll just say ID, and that one is equal to correct param and the ID. So if we save here and then go back, params.
Okay. ID. Response. The JSON ID. This object ID correct. That parameters. The ID. Look, we getting it from the parameters from the request. We getting the ID. Okay. So get task. Right? Object ID dot body oops parameters dot ID rec params the ID that's what I'm missing ID no I did okay ID rec
and the ID. So if we save here and then go back and just use the get route and click send, we have the key with the name of ID, and then the value is hello. So if we'll change it around and if we say Peter, of course the value will be Peter. Again.
man.
Same spiel, we go save as, and we'll name this update task, or I'm sorry, get single task. My apologies, get single task. Let's save it, and then we have one for update and one for image. And in order to speed this up, I don't think I'm going to do any testing anymore. We simply want to open up a new route. We want to go with patch in this case, and again we're going with URL. And then /task, whatever value you want to pass in over here. So I'm going to go with 1, 2, 3, send, and of course we have update task here. Let's save that one. We're going not a new route. We want to go back in this case. And again, we're going with URL and then /task, whatever value you want to pass in over here. So I'm going to go with 1, 2, 3, send, and of course we have
okay. Yeah, I had the wrong post here instead of patch for some reason. I guess because I copied it and I forgot that I mistakenly Didn't update it. Let's continue.
And of course, I have update task. Beautiful. Let's save that one. And we'll write here update task. And the last one, of course, is delete. So let's close these two. And then you
Delete. Save this here. Yeah, request. Delete. P here. Send delete task. Alright. Let's change that. You can name it however you want. Follow his if you want, but this is how I want to do my delete task. And wherever I work, I usually see this kind of same pattern. Camel case pattern. It's fine with me.
your request, we're looking for delete methods. The URL is going to be exactly the same. And then we want to go with /tasks and any of the IDs that we have already used, since we'll change that later anyway. And once we send, the response should be delete task. Now, if you don't want to go with save as, you can simply click on Command S. That's going to be a shortcut. And we go here with delete and then task, and of course we save it in the same task method. And once we can clearly see that we can access all our routes correctly, then we can move on to our next step. Okay. And once we're done with the Postman, before we start setting up our database, let's quickly talk about our routes. More specifically, why we use such a structure. Long story short, is because we're building a REST API. And since these days the term API is used pretty much for everything, let's just all agree that in our case, since we're building a server, essentially we want to create a HTTP interface so the other apps, most likely front-end ones, can interact with our data. That's how we view API in this scenario. And when it comes to REST, it stands for Representational State Transfer, and arguably the most popular API design pattern. And essentially, it's a pattern that combines HTTP verbs, route paths, and our request, aka data. So effectively, REST determines how the API looks like. Now, let me emphasize something. It's a pattern, not a strictly enforced set of rules. So nothing stops you from setting your own API in totally different manner. In fact, if you have used APIs on your front-end apps, you know that some of them have totally different stuff. I guess the best advice I can give you is this: whatever pattern you decide on, stick with it. Or in other words, be consistent. Otherwise, it's just going to be very confusing for your users. And this is a common approach where you have the main list. So that would be orders, that would be customers, that would be items, whatever. And of course, it is task. And in order to get all the items, we go with get method. And then if we want to create one, it's going to be the same endpoint, but we just go with different methods. And in this case, it is. And not to be redundant, we already discussed this before. But just because they have the same URL, the same endpoint, since the methods are different, in this case we have get, and of course in the second scenario we have post. These are two totally different requests. Please keep that in mind. And then for individual items, you have the same path pretty much. So you have API and then task, orders, customers, whatever, and then you just move from to point to that one specific item. And then if you want to get the item, and there's a get method for update, you'll use put or patch, and then to delete one, you'll use the delete method instead. And since JSON is a common format for receiving and sending data in REST API, we'll use that approach as well. So even though at the moment we use send method in our app, eventually we'll switch to JSON method instead. Also, I would like to point out that REST in general is somewhat fuzzy. In fact, oftentimes you will deviate away from straight up REST, since that's what the setup will require. One more thing, you can probably notice something. Essentially, our API allows our user to perform a CRUD operation on our data, and CRUD stands for create, read, update. and destroy. And it's a common approach where the API interface is built around threads, since those are usually or typically operations that users or apps want to perform on a given day, whether it is again users, orders, customers, or in our case, of course, it is going to be a task. And we'll return to threads a little later when I can actually show you how it relates to our data. Lastly, there's obviously more to REST, and some of that we will discuss in later projects. But since I'm not a big fan of long slide videos, and I believe we've covered all the major points, we'll stop right here and move on to our database setup. So remember, in Express tutorial, the route setup was extremely similar to that we have right now, with one big
Okay, I'm gonna stop here before we go into MongoDB. Let's be one video and then go on to the next. I appreciate this. This is actually pretty nice. Props to the creator of this course. Let's put a fork in here and come back. Thanks everybody. Follow along. Hopefully this helps. Excuse me. Hopefully this helps you can understand a kind of, I say cheat sheet, but another way you can go about learning how to code or picking up a new technology. When you are either you're new to it or you have experience. This is another method. I like to use this one. There's another method I'll show probably different videos, different playlists maybe, which is just building small applications. Reading docs, building small applications. That's another way to do it, and just doing that like rinse and repeat. Same with this. But I don't want to talk too long. Thanks again for watching, and like, comment, subscribe if you want to. I don't know. All right, see ya.